everyone happy after some technical difficulties.
Speaking of technical difficulties, the controller's not working again. Certainly feels like that. Howdy, y'all.
Yep. Howdy.
Dep is a bit low. I'm always a bit low, man. It's called fucking depression.
It's the American dream, and all of us slowly dying.
Alright, Dep is a bit low.
Depp is a bit low.
Well, we'll try that, I guess.
No one is ready.
No one is ready. We all hate it here.
How are you?
Not too bad. Training was good. My hiatus is now over.
Excellent. Fantastic. Fantastic. I've been just working and working and working. We released The Hunchback, which I guess a few people saw and enjoyed, which is good. You know, people enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So now I'm already working on the next project.
As we do.
Yeah, people are like, take time off. And I'm like, what's that? Here's my next thesis. Here we go. Take a break. Look, I don't do well sitting around. My brain melts. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so let's go and let's hurt people with Robot Arm. If I had to title this game in the state of lack of sleep I have now, Robot Arm Man hurts people. Also mullet.
Mm.
So, is it normal to just have pictures of your whole org on the inside of your helicopter? So
Of
if
your
you
secret helicopter?
your secret helicopter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how
I don't-
the rifles.
That's a good question.
Like those straps are under tension.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very heavy rifle.
Wow,
Very
it's probably
heavy.
not as front heavy. What with the plastic barrel?
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that's why they're under tension. That's a 40-pound safety model.
Yes, I got some stuff.
Okay, Hamster says it well. Robot Arm Violence 80s Fun Time.
Indeed. Alright, let's send some faceless goons to die in pointless missions.
Who do we have?
And now we don't even have enough people to do that. Fuck you.
I don't understand how you don't have enough people when you have a dog with an eye patch and you have a robot arm, you have a helicopter that has intercontinental range at Mach speed, and you have kidnapped every person you've walked into, regardless of their qualifications. And you have the resources to have enough pilots flying fucking orbits, picking up all these Fultoning balloon people, you know, and just bringing them back and brainwashing them to the point where you can walk up to them and kung fu their tits off, and they're fine. They're like, thank you, boss. Thank you for punching my teeth down my throat. They thank you for it. You have those resources, but not enough resources to do what?
To recruit more people. We
So-
severely understaffed our HR department, X. And by that I mean the combat teams aren't violent enough.
Okay. I saw where they just crippled a guy who needed a leg brace to walk. Like, they used the guy's mobility enhancing prosthetic against him and like monsters.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay.
Tex. Bolo says, Tex, not the Sherlock we wanted, just the Sherlock we have. That's fair.
To Central Africa.
Alright, so we're gonna go steal an interpreter real fast.
You know, Sherlock is based off of someone who had autism.
I believe that.
It was a differential diagnosis expert that was in a London hospital that the author ran into and was like, wow, this guy has a encyclopedic knowledge of a lot of weird stuff and almost zero knowledge on anything else and is very direct and easily overwhelmed and upset.
You know, like you are.
Like
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. And so like if I was Sherlock Holmes, I think I'd be fine in Victorian England. You were allowed to pocket carry back then. If you were a gentleman.
Only if you were a gentleman, so we're gonna keep working on. Oh, Brown. Blaster Brown.
Yeah. Autism and legal access to ready cocaine. See, that's where I'd need a Depp to be my minder. You'd have to be my Watson. And you'd be
Oh,
like, good
yeah.
God, man. You punched that woman. I'd be like, indeed. She was, trust me, it makes sense. I'll take you back. I'll take you back to the map room where I've connected all this with yarn. Sherlock, Tex, and Dr. Depp.
Depth scenarios would not survive. I don't know. I'm a pretty patient man.
I think you would just look down and see. You'd be like, Holmes, they're dead. And I'm like, obviously, we have about 15 minutes to rob this house.
Look down, move around the pooling blood. Get water on my boots.
If you measure the blood on the left boot versus the right, you will see that they are indeed perished. Ah, yes, capital. I would be a terrible Sherlock. I'd be like, that guy did it. And they'd be like, why? And I was like, have you seen his fucking mustache? That's an evil fucking mustache.
The man is literally Snidely Whipple.
YouTube is my Moriarty. Dr.
Oh.
Depp sounds like the soda discount Dennis Rodman was selling. Dr. Depp instead of Dr. Pepper. Dr. Depp. Okay, who are we shooting?
I'm concussing some zebra.
I had somebody who tried to tell me that, the world went crazy on the Harambe timeline. And I wanted to remind people that Harambe is actually a word that has meaning. It means we all pull together. So let's remember that. And secondly, this isn't the weirdest thing that happened on that timeline. Remember when Dennis Rodman went to North Korea?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the strangest thing that's happened in this timeline. The Harlem Globetrotters went to North Korea. This is not the strangest thing to happen in this timeline. Like, okay, are we just stealing zebras?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person, but
You're not?
no, I mean, unless you like burger that zebra. Now, if you guys want to have a mind blown moment, like a real mind blown moment, like you're gonna really have a moment and go like, "Oh my god!" I want you guys to know this:
I'm
North
protecting
Korea,
him.
North Korea made, I shit you not, a kaiju movie. They had to kidnap a director from Japan to make it. They made their own Godzilla, and it's called Pulgasari. It's pretty wild. They also made a musical. I've seen that one. It's not very good. It's not a good musical. The lyrics are very patriotic, as you might imagine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure North Korea wins against the American kaiju.
Well, yeah. Surprise. Like, okay, I bet going to the movies in North Korea is probably pretty
Nobody's
easy to guess the
surprised,
outcome.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna be like, oh my god, I wonder who wins. Oh, the movie name. I'll type it out for you guys. There you go.
Do they show it on their Twitch?
No, still banned from that. I'm gonna say this. If North Korea invited me to make a movie with their movie department, knowing full well that I would be kidnapped and severely tortured and never let go, I would still go do it. I would still want to make a North Korean movie. I'd be like, guys, you've not made a kung fu movie, and we're gonna be the first. I'd be like, I need 1 million extras, please. Can we use the army?
Nobody saw that.
Nobody did. It was quiet, very stealthy. I bet
saw
you could
that
get.
one.
I bet you could get away with a lot
I'm
with
under
a
attack.
clipboard. No, you're not. I bet you could get away with a lot in North Korea with just the clipboard, and you just like lift the clipboard's notes up. And you're like, well, the leader said I could right here, and they're like, oh. As soon as they say, well, let me see that, you're like, whoa, the leader says you can't look at it. I'm just saying. Oh, I'd make a Kentucky Fried Movie in North Korea. No problem. The guys I really want to work with, if I could work honestly with any film crew ever in history, Wakaliwood. I want
Here I
to go.
Killing again.
I want to go to Uganda to make a movie.
On 44 meters. I should be nailing this 29.
Well, yeah, man. I used to do silhouette shooting with those things at like 50 meters or 50 yards because American. But yeah.
Oh, I switched to iron sights. Was it V? No, that's with shoulders.
F for binoculars?
That's it.
Wow. But yeah, I would definitely watch a Wakaliwood movie. I would definitely make a Hollywood movie. They'd be like, all right, we have 3 days to finish this. And they mean finish shooting? No. The whole thing.
Guard post captured.
I am the best soldier in all the world. You go with me. You go with me. You are my people now. Hey, brother, guess what? If you survive, you're mine.
Please don't. All right, you know what? That's fine. Just take people.
Hey, you know, I like a man with a sense of style. He's got those Black Knight Stalker gloves on. He's coming with me. Killed that man. Not that
Yeah,
man,
I
but
actually-
the one I extracted.
God damn. I mean, talk about face off.
Yeah, goddamn. So he's wearing looks like, actually kind of looks like Dutch DPM.
Man, these guys, I
American
mean-
jungle boots,
What year is this supposed to be?
84, and a Rhodesian vest, but in
You
green.
think these guys? Shouldn't these guys have SADF 83 at
Yeah,
least?
well, this is SADF 83 pattern. It's just the airsoft knockoff from the 90s.
Well, and it's also not the full. I mean,
Yeah, it's not the
Where's
full
the-
kit with the Groot sack and the chest.
Well, yeah.
plate. It's just about
all the stuff that's useful.
Yeah, the battle
that goes-
jacket's okay.
Oh man, we are really going too far
Like a
on this. But
PM63 holster, which I
I-
have to assume is baling wired to the eyelets on that American web belt.
it might be.
Oh shit! One of these guys was the interpreter. Did I extract him?
Development
No.
project.
Okay, thank God. This wasn't the right camp. I killed these people for no reason. Alright. Just take what we want and move on. Microcosm for Western relations in Africa there. Did I kill the right people? No. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Common metal. This is also common metal. And anything else here?
So-
like
How did that Connex box get there? I'm wondering. Because, you know, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing like road ruts or, you know.
or standardized shipping container spec trailers or yeah. Like I briefly lived out of a Connex box.
Connex
Somewhere-
boxes are
somewhere else.
fancy. Connex boxes are fancy living if you do it right.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, you can make those nice.
And you could absolutely tell that the entire mission, everything that ever had been done by our presence there was supported by Connex boxes alone.
You can, oh man, like if I'm saying this right now, if any of you win $50 bajillion and you have too many dollars and you're like, I have too many dollars and you want to give Tex money and I don't talk you out of it, which Depp knows I probably would. I'd be like, nope. I'd probably just disappear. But like, if you gave me all the money known to man and said build you a house of your dreams, Connex box. It would be a Connex box welded to the side of a cliff face with a rope ladder or a bucket. Like I would just lower the bucket. You could get in the bucket if you're cool. I Connex box. I will Connex. Yeah,
Yeah, Connex boxes.
all day. All day I would live in a Connex box. They make some really nice ones now into homes. Like really, truly nice ones. I saw one of those really fixed up Connex box houses and I was like, good goddamn.
See, I wouldn't have run out of my rubber bullets had I not fucked around with the zebra so much.
Now, okay, Cryptech asks about the old missile silo. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Missile silos were typically built very quickly and very hurriedly, like there was, you know, the end of the world, depending on it.
Side ops list updated.
The problem is, many years have passed, and groundwater loves quick built things.
Yep.
And so many of these missile silos have turned into unintentional ponds. And it's a lot of them are really mildewed out and fucked up. The ones that are really nice cost a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather
weirdos have taken most of them over.
Extraction.
yeah, and I think what and yeah, Wilf says it best. A missile silo is built to keep a missile comfortable, not necessarily a human.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I again, Connex box chunk of land. If you gave me Connex box and chunk of land with an internet to it, I'd be all right. I would want nothing else. I probably wouldn't even own a car, to be honest.
I am knocking the sheep out and then waking it back up before it falls over with stun bullets. TM.
Why?
I gotta add it to my my animals in tiny cages zoo. Hey buddy, you're not like them. You're a dog. I won't ever eat you. I say weird shit like that to my... I don't understand it. Or they do.
If you say things to dogs, they just smile because they don't know any better. You could be like, I'm going to feed you
it's
nothing but styrofoam.
Yeah, it's
and they'll
about
just be
intent.
like,
It's not about words with them.
yeah, you can just say,
Small children.
well, sometimes I'm going to say this from the perspective of therapy. You do remember it. Oof.
Right. Stun bullets.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yeah. No, I was down on the Texas-Oklahoma border yesterday. I still need to deal with the bullshit I was down there for. I'm gonna pile in my yard. It's an old plan. You loaded it with bliss bullets?
Shoot him with a bliss bullet.
Alright, we have to extract the legendary gunsmith, but first we're gonna extract this prisoner just 'cause fuck him.
You know what you need to find?
Having a bad day, he's about to have a bad day too.
If there was a legendary gunsmith, okay, we need to go find a recording of Denny Reichart, who was the Grandmaster Pistol Smith for Smith & Wesson KL and N-frame revolvers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get that guy. Well, he's dead. God rest his soul. But go get a recording of him for the Grandmaster Smith, and you would, as soon as you start extracting him, just have one of his rants and rambles on like spring weight on internals. And it's unending. Just edit it all together.
Yeah, edit it like 0 punctuation. There's no breaths. There's no stop. He just keeps going.
Ukrainian Tapwater asks, aren't I a legendary gunsmith? No, I am not. I am at best, journeyman. I've not done it for a living for a long time. Gunsmithing was one of those things that I realized was a job, and then it turned into something I didn't enjoy as much. And so by turning it back into a hobby, I can enjoy it when I want to. It would be like you can enjoy making pizza for your friends, and everyone enjoys the pizza you make, and you enjoy making dinner for your friends. But if you have to make pizza for a living, it's a lot different, you know?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to like the Domino's experience. However, you own a couple of guns I've made, so
I do now.
yeah, I've I've made some pretty okay guns.
God, I wish they taught me this one at boot camp.
Wow. What kind of crawl is that? Is that the dislocator?
Don't mind me and my airsoft rifle. We're doing work. Pop right in the eye. Should have worn your eye pro. Is that a truck coming? Yes, or a tank.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Yeah, hop on out of there. Why are you wearing a fucking... Dog move. God damn it.
You know, you're using a 30 caliber blank to accelerate a rubber projectile into like face, right?
Yeah.
And at that range, turbo lethal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Everything I've done here has been lethal. That guy
They
had
still
a
use the-
Rhodesian army patch on his arm.
What kind of fucking radio are they using? Still using those R103s or?
You know, I didn't even look at what these guys are using. What are you using? Oh no, that looks like it's supposed to be a pair of Klansmen's tied together. In like one of the dedicated Mark 77 carriers that you could mount inside an Alice pack if you hated yourself.
Oh, the Klansman CNR? Those are... That's technically not wrong. That's, what, late 70s?
Yeah, somewhere.
That's actually not a bad radio.
Guard post captured.
Who wakes up next? You're gone. You're gone. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, if that's a Klansman unit wired together, you just gotta go find the Batco card for them, and then you're welcome to owning the network.
Yeah. I don't understand who these guys are supposed to... Like, I know who they're supposed to be, but some of these uniform choices are,
Klansman, in this context, what we're talking about is a radio set that was common to the British Army from the late 70s.
Oh, that's the CFA patch. And the red leader stripes, I'm sure.
Probably not. But it's a late 70s British radio that was used until about 2001.
Yeah, like, we invaded Iraq with some of them, or they did. Because they talked to American units really well.
Well, they also have a... God, I want to see it's like an 8 or a 12 meter mast that goes with them. They have good range.
Those looked almost... This was
I know a few things about radio. Depp probably knows more.
I have fought the radio gods many a time. I have done what a real radio guy never wants to do but always has to,
Supplies
which is standing
Walk to the top of a hill.
stand, standing in a burned out 3-story building holding a radio antenna vertical in a thunderstorm so that we can get comms.
development complete.
That's why they say satcoms are better, but if you break the little dish, the satellite can't hear you.
Yeah, then the satellite gets sad because it's lonely. Now, God, man, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Like,
That is a weird looking truck.
yeah. That's a very
think-
modern looking truck. Like, this front end shape, that's...
Do you think they were just saying, you know, on that grill, fuck symmetry, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
I mean,
cooler
I guess
if it's
that's-
not symmetrical.
Well, yeah, it'd be cooler if that was like the intercooler for a diesel or something, but where's the exhaust?
Yeah, no, this... God, what does this look like? What's the British name for the MXT military version?
Oh, let me look that up.
They just started surplusing those off. They gave them to... God, they gave them to, like, the Philippines or something weird.
The International MXT MV?
Yeah. And it was adopted as, like, the Toad or something into British service. They always
yeah.
do weird names on their vehicles.
Husky Tactical Support Vehicle.
The Husky. That looks kind of like the front end of the Husky.
I think it's got a little bit more of the Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicle thing to the front of it.
Development complete.
Oh, we've developed the flamethrower. Sure, that's completely unrelated to any developments we're about to make.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you
Flamethrowers
you see
are
Bushmaster.
well,
This is not a stretched Humvee. This is a bastardized version of an M151 Mutt.
I
And
really
hate
wish
it because I love Mutts. I've driven Mutts. I've rolled Mutts over. I've put them back on their top end and pretended I didn't do that.
I really wish we could get those Mahindra road legal Jeeps. Not a Jeep, but Jeeps.
So
In
Highway
diesel.
Patrol got in trouble because they were given road titles to those.
Cool.
Those are legal in the United States finally as the Roxor. The diesel version has not come over yet. The Mutt did have a tendency to roll over. So I'll tell you a story about the Mutt.
Please.
So we had a base model M151, which is the first variant, and they had some peculiar quirks in the suspension system, specifically that there was no limit to the travel, because they didn't ever expect to need any, and they didn't want to fuck with its off-road capability. So the M151 and the M151A2 had a problem where if you were driving at high speed, like say you were a drunk GI in, I don't know, Ramstein, Germany, and you took a corner at very high speed, as the vehicle cornered, the body does not lean. The suspension has so much travel it compensates until it no longer can. So you can't feel the vehicle lean like you do in a traditional vehicle. And when it is ready to tip, the unloaded right rear or left rear corner will tuck underneath the vehicle so that you are hubbed towards the ground and pop it over. So in the M151A2, they introduced a limit to travel to try and prevent that. That said, as part of driver training for the M151, we had one with the full rollover protection kit and a racing bucket seat installed with a 5-point harness, and we would put people in there with a helicopter helmet, and we would have them drive tighter and tighter circles a little bit faster until suddenly the Mutt goes, I'm tired of being upright, and lays over on its side. And there's no warning, but we had to do that to drive it into people that, hey, this thing will not tell you it's about to roll. It just does it. So, yeah, and then we have the entire class roll it back over onto its wheels, let the oil settle for about 5 minutes, stick somebody else in it, and we're just teaching instruction while in the background you hear, ka-donk. All right, get out.
One of my favorite experiences was I did World War II reenactment,
Yeah.
and when you first get to a unit that has vehicles, they won't let you anywhere near them. One, for liability, and two, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot cheaper back then, but certainly a lot more expensive now. And they had a Willys Jeep, and I thought, Man, it'd be cool to ride around on a Willys Jeep. Until we had to ride around on a Willys Jeep all day. And then
Oh,
in
yeah.
my head, I went, man, now I know why Grandpa was so mad all the time at having to go anywhere in these. This thing sucks. Because you're just like, oh, it's time to check the gas. All right, well, lift the seat cushion and get out.
Yep.
And get out the stick.
Enemy presence detected.
If the stick is wet, you have gas.
Analysis
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's the other thing is that you feel everything in a Willys Jeep. A Willys Jeep will do everything you think it can. It does all the action Jeep shit a movie suggests. It will go anywhere
And it
and pulling
costs
stuff.
you spine compression.
Yeah, that you'll be going, wow, why can it fly through the air while pulling artillery? And it's like, well, because the compression is not in the suspension, but in your back.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground.
The enemy has a sniper.
Sneak past enemies.
Where is?
Reenactment is pretty fun until you run into people who are super sticklers. Like the guys who have reproduction C rations. They're like, I paid a guy to reproduce tinned meat from the 40s. That's next level.
Dead yet? Alright, hey buddy. Hey buddy, hey friend, hey pal. Have you ever heard of intercostal shots? They're really cool. They get past the plate through the armhole,
enemy presence detected.
and you'll bleed out before anybody can help you.
I love how you take time to, pick flowers in the middle of battle.
I am a well-rounded individual.
Guard post
It's fun and work all at once.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I like to press wildflowers. No, one of the funniest things that I remember from a game was, remember Kingdom Come Deliverance? Remember that game?
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were into it.
It was all right. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was okay. It was very much a game.
Okay.
And I remember that there was, if you bent down and picked up wildflowers as you found them in your path, and you walked around picking up wildflowers constantly, you would get your wildflower gathering skill so high that there was a skill you would unlock called Leg Day, where your strength would go up every time you did it from picking flowers. So I ran around picking flowers until my guy was the strongest guy in the world. Now,
Okay.
I had picked flowers because I was just roaming around, didn't know what I was
You
doing.
run into 'em.
And yeah, and so I keep running into resources, and like any loot goblin, you hit that button to pick things up, and
Yeah.
there you are.
Press F to feel endorphin.
Right. So you're feeding that dopamine right in you. And you pick up all these flowers, and all of a sudden your guy's the strongest guy in the world. And some brigand rides down the road and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And you just punch him into the next lifetime.
Yeah.
And then you go back to picking flowers and eating beans.
arrived at the base.
Is there any way up there to go harass that fucking sniper? Is that a truck?
I also loved how you could walk up to people and just literally eat all of the beans in their house. Aggressively. And then say nothing and leave.
I mean, it's the Link thing, you know? Run up, burn the clay pots, pull everything out from under the bed, and then run off. And they're like, it's an adventure. It's what he does.
Do you think there's adventure insurance for these like NPC villages?
It would have to be. I suspect though that like the starting location ones you can't insure because there's too many
Oh yeah.
adventures coming by.
I love how this thing skates around like a shopping cart.
Yeah, I was just talking about how roll prone the fucking truck is, and it's like, oh yeah, no.
I've
We're
got four
doing-
caster wheels.
We're over here doing fucking Benda Drift. I steal your truck. Alright, where's this fucking sniper that I had the duel with? Did he run off? Belong to me. You are my employee now, whether you want to be or not.
Arrived at Mother Base.
Right, there he is.
Do you think
We're gonna
adventure
sneak.
like okay, what's more real? What's more real? Do you think adventure insurance would be real, or you pull a lever in your house and all of your nice things like rotate away, like all the shelves rotate over and they're all bare and threadbare and worn, and you pull another lever and your carpet retreats in and an old threadbare rug comes out and you're like, "Oh, I'm so destitute."
You know, porque no los dos, man.
Yeah, you could do
hit the
that,
lever,
and
and then you tell the insurance agents they were all stolen. Hey, come on, wake up. Fine, okay. What are you using? Just a G3A3?
Well, I mean, would you really want to use an MSG 90? And I mean, okay, what is his farthest line of sight from his post, right? Let's do that math because your zero on a G3. A lot of people don't know this, but your zero on a G3 is at 32 meters and 200 meters on diopter setting 0. So if your furthest point is typically inside of 200, 250 meters, you don't need a specialized DMR. G3A3 with the Hensoldt Clawboy would be fine.
Well, if your only objective is to cover this building and the 5 people around it, then that's fine. Probably.
Yeah, you don't need a scope. Like, they're going to fill up the whole V notch on 0. You can use the night setting. It'll be fine.
But yeah, if you've got any kind of dedicated assault firm, especially through like,
Yeah, you don't need, like, for this terrain, you want a mortar.
yeah,
You're like,
I
oh
wanna-
no, they're coming across the open and some of them rolling hills.
I want to see the dust cloud and be like, oh yeah, we need some warheads on some foreheads all the way over there before they come bother me.
I'm just saying, there's options. Now, I don't know. If I had to be like a guy armoring a PMC and they told me that somebody keeps running in and stealing people, I'd be like, you guys are not getting name brand guns anymore. These are expensive.
They're gonna start giving you the Smith and Wesson fucking clones.
No, I'm gonna give you the Glock and Wesson, like, you know, pipe and board.
All right, hey brother, everybody pick a Saturday night special for your sidearm.
I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up with a pillowcase
I hit
full of just 38 snub noses and
Yeah.
be like, I cleaned out 3 pawn shops. This is what you're getting.
3 pawn shops and a gun show in rural Oklahoma.
Yeah, just
All right, everybody got enough 32? Good.
all right,
Yeah,
boys.
don't-
I hope you're ready for.
I didn't kill the dog,
Hope you-
did I?
No, you killed the tree, which is more amazing.
The map has been updated.
Where's the dog? Oh,
Oh, good dog.
it's mad.
Yeah, it's happy. See, that's a happy bark. Oh, hey,
Why?
we're here.
Why would I use an AK-4 instead of a G3? Those are very expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they didn't let
I
very many of those go. Like they
Yeah,
still
this
have
is
them. They hoard them like gold.
what I'm saying is if this is the 80s, I'd be like, "All right, boys,
You're all getting
grab yourself
Iranian
some."
clones.
No. If this is the 80s, I'd be like, "All right, boys, this guy's stealing all of you. So here's your crate of Mosin Nagants, and here is your 5-gallon bucket of neutral mineral spirit. Begin degreasing." And here's the crate of ammunition. If you can get more than 5 rounds out of it, I'll know you're in trouble, and I will send the guy with the Uzi.
We get
Uzi
your
guy.
NCO and Uzi.
Analysis complete.
And most of these people are probably worth money. And that's even more annoying.
Oh God, people keep comparing it to Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm gonna say this. When I first played Cyberpunk 2077, I thought I was having a stroke because a lot of weird graphics issues. I still have screenshots of them. There's some pretty amazing ones, like people climbing into invisible cars and sitting in the seated position and then floating off at car speed in the middle of the air with music and vehicle sounds, just
Oh,
no
nice.
car.
Yeah.
The other one I had was everything within my character's field of view for the cutscene. Oh God!
Hey,
Wow,
brother.
that guy snuck up on you. Wow. But
Mind me.
everything in my character's field of view had rendered a face. But everything outside of my field of view had not a face, and when I exited the cutscene, I walked down the street and saw a bunch of people with smudged faces. And I thought, well, this is because of some cyberware. Everyone's obscuring, their face for anonymity in the future. This is really cool that they... And then I realized, no, it's just the game decided that you've had enough faces today.
Yeah. Turning to my stand. Something is going on. I better turn on the spotlight and point it the other direction.
That is the quietest light generator I've ever heard.
Yeah, hey, are you alright?
I like how they have just panic shouts. No one has hit a radio key yet.
Nope. He keeps yelling everybody on alert.
It's more effective if you yell it into a radio. Hey, Gilly. Glad to see you, and thanks for the donation.
My
Appreciate it.
only Cyberpunk issue, because I had a very seamless first playthrough on launch week, was all of the children had adult heads, and I thought Polish kids just looked like that.
Holy shit. Hairflex just gifted a bunch of subs.
Thank you, Hairflex.
Whoa, Hairflex. Way to flex on people. Jeepers.
Oh god, I killed that man.
No, you
I
didn't.
kill a lot of people, but like that was a bad way to go.
You didn't kill him. It was his time.
Hey, look, it's Mr. Mortar. Give me my mortar.
Caution.
I do like that these are all generically 80 millimeter.
Well, look, we can't afford the name brand stuff, so it's 80 millimeter.
Yeah, 80 millimeter. It's my favorite
Is that-
favorite millimeter for mortars.
Yeah, it's 80 80 and some.
There's more goats out there for me to harass.
Are you just gonna put all these people in here?
Well, yeah, I was gonna fill the truck with bodies and then lift the truck, but
Oh, all right. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah,
Analysis.
look, besides the glowy cigarette tip, like a fucking fake electronic cigarette, that is, so that almost looks like a way too short Prick 77. Like they scaled it down half scale. And that
Unlike
looks like
Soviet
a
radios.
Klansman vehicle. Like
Well,
maybe amplifier?
they could use it as a booster, but here's the problem. Well,
You stay
I
there,
gotta
you
say,
son of a bitch.
this thing has, unlike Russian radios of the era, this magical button called squelch, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot of people don't know this,
Goodbye.
but the older Soviet radios,
R105s and
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have the squelch on the earlier models, which means you just have to leave that thing wide open and use volume control.
I
But that's
spent
it.
many nights with OP4 radios listening to white noise and hallucinating messages in them. From lack of sleep.
Yeah, that's the scream of the universe.
Yeah. It was a very unique experience. I do not envy any Soviet radio assholes in the inevitable World War III scenario that they all feared. Because they would go nuts. Like a week
Well,
into
that's-
the war, they'd be writing down messages for command that didn't happen.
My favorite of the Soviet war plans, if when you study them, is the 7 Days to the Rhine,
Yes.
because it makes some of the most hilarious assumptions ever. They were like, America will attack us by hitting Poland with a precise amount of nuclear warheads.
Supplies.
And I was like, when I first studied that, I read this war plan and I was like, all right, so the ball has gone up. 99 red balloons are real. This is gonna happen. First move, Poland.
We'll go through the weak underbelly of Europe. Poland.
It's just like, huh?
I run something over.
Well, the EMP wouldn't wipe all the radios out.
Now, actually,
if you're
a lot of things are surprisingly EMP resistant without meaning to be.
not only that, typically to be in the amplified EMP effect of a blast, you're also in the blast, so that's not going to be the problem with the radio. The problems are going to be the neutrons through the operator.
Unless you're doing a
but
super high altitude blast.
which typically not real. We
I think I
did
hit
we
an
did
animal
blow.
back there. I need to call my.
You know what?
Sage.
I'm gonna say this. Let's not worry about it.
Poland was the last to say, not me. Exactly.
You have to say not it. 3, 2, 1, not it.
Finger to nose. Poland, sorry, brother.
You have arrived at your destination.
Kurala! Melted radios count as jammed. That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like nobody wins in that scenario. But one side would make sure the other lost more. Because that's human nature.
Why don't we just go back to field phones, World War I style?
So we
Run
had
that
'em.
cable.
We had them
I
and we were
know.
fully prepared to use them. I have a fucking pile of them.
I have 2 field phones. We got the cable.
Yeah, yours are EE8, so right? Or yours are post
They're, yeah, mine are post-war.
Okay.
I had thought about having those field phones, wired up in the house, and put it like next to Mike's room and then next to Goat's room, and then just being able to and be like, pizza's here, like
Well, the best thing about that is that unless you have a switchboard, it becomes the party line. And I've also been the first stop on the party line, i.e., the only motherfucker who will answer the radio or the field phone when it rings in the tent. So, you know, shit'll go off, and I'll be like, comms. And they're like, hey, we're trying to reach first squad. Okay. What do you want me to do about it? Well, you answered, so you're gonna go wake them up. God damn it.
You know how the
Our
you know
ROP's down. It's off the net. We didn't hear any shooting, so they're fine. They're just asleep.
you
That's
know
a
how
lot
we
of
can
assumptions
check.
to make with my life.
You know how we could check if they're wearing their earphones, like if what their radio discipline is. Just break into their neck with an air, or not break into their net with an air horn. You know, just be like, "Hey guys, you on? What?" You hear screaming down the valley. You're like, "Ah, got him."
How dare you shoot into the woods? Know your target, asshole. Look, you fucked up.
Am I hearing Russian and Afrikaans?
I have no idea what it is. You guys should go check on those people. Maybe they're still alive. Come on.
If you need to jam enemy radio,
Banana phone.
all you really need to do, in all honesty, to jam enemy radio, is just to get on their network and repeat everything you've just heard, but laugh at the end of it. So they're like, "This is Foxtrot Baker Alpha, and we are proceeding to Nav Point Gamma." You just repeat that and then go at the end. They'll say, "Who is that?" And then you say nothing. Maybe not a Skeletor laugh. Save that for the end. I hear you. I'm in your radio. I'm a ghost.
That's a very Oh, fuck me. Alright, well, sorry, brother. It's your time. Oh, you're responding to
Rattle them,
gunshot?
boys.
Gunshot your face.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very Krobon response.
Krobon. What would Krobon do?
Everything is normal.
Situation is correct. Anything Krobon said would be taken as sinister.
Oh yeah.
I am your friend. We are here to ensure you remain alive.
But fuck, I assumed that anything that Krobon said was sinister.
He can't help the way he sounds. That's profiling, man. This is just not nice.
Who sees me? You saw me through the shed. Oh, this is a bad place to be.
Well, time to go lethal. Thank God you brought a plastic gun. Don't let him escape. How many people were you stealing?
Well, I tried to steal about 25.
That's too many people.
That's too many people. Situation is grundo. Just play the ambush audio from Aliens into the Net. We're all gonna fucking die.
Game over, man. Actually, that's after it.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Alright, everybody turn in your ammunition.
When I saw that, for the first time. I was a kid, and I said, that's dumb. Because I know that guns without ammunition,
Aren't all that
Aren't-
useful.
not very.
How many people have I press gamed? We'll see at the next status stream.
That or just get the slow burn of Barbara Ann.
Bar.
Bar, Ann.
Brother, just stop getting up. There we go. There, I shut you up. God, he didn't-
survived.
Yeah. Eye shots are preferred on the rubber bullets, as it's less likely to cause an arterial tear.
What if you just play Ennio Morricone, just the best of the Western music, just have that cranking?
You'd think the Soviets would notice a fleet of medium transport aircraft flying over roughly every 30 seconds in conjunction with distant screaming over the radio and in the distance. Well, you would think that. You'd be wrong, though. In unrelated news, all 45 Private Schmuckatellis disappeared today. Schmuckatelli is a lance corporal. He always will be.
That's why they all get Mosin the guns.
Or a specialist.
Imagine if game difficulty determined what weapons they had.
So, on easy, they're all running around with, like, 32 Bulldog revolvers.
No, on easy they're all running around with they're all running around with Nagant revolvers.
Okay.
Worst trigger in the world. I own one. I've tried to make it better. I have given up.
That's like trying to make a Mac trigger. Like, yeah, you can shave material off, you can polish it. You're still grinding two pieces of metal together. The Makarov is what happens when you tell Soviet engineers to make the PPK worse.
I wish this, but cheaper.
I think all those motherfuckers came out of their boat.
So the boat.
Boat.
You need to blow it up. Is minor metal another word for soft rock? I will continue dad jokes. Yes, Mitch, the Nagant revolver is the one that has the telescope bullets, and they are awful. I know a lot of people are like, you can technically suppress this thing. Go ahead. Just go ahead. It's not great.
Hectic.
Thank you for flexing, Hair Flex. You are the coolest flex so far.
I'm gonna light it. Like the light. Well, that climbed over. Button. Button press.
I climb the light.
Hit dog. Fine.
Well, Anita's 46. Why does gun size and battle tech seem to stop at AC 20? Well, it's because of probably the inherent wish of distributed lethality. If you put all your bang into one box, there's the chance that it blows up and you no longer have the bang. So it's better to have two AC 20s than one AC 40 if such a thing existed. However, you can find ways around that. MRM 40, Hyper Assault Gauss, some of them heavy some bitches are pretty much that. God, heavy Gauss rifle, especially. And technically, the next size up
God
for
fucking damn it.
cannons should be Thumper and then Long Tom. And yes, there are naval autocannons. There are also naval lasers and naval PPCs.
Map has been updated.
An NNT-28. It is not a rifle with a revolving cylinder. The Nagant rifle, as designed by, I believe, Emil Nagant, is a completely different design from the Mosin Nagant. The Nagant rifle is the Mosin Nagant, 2 people. The Nagant revolver is 1 guy, principally. 2 different cartridges, 2 different guns, not interchangeable. Well, technically, I guess you could, but I mean, why? The Nagant revolver is not a black powder load, no. Smokeless powder typically happens on the scene in 1885 and after, nitrocellulose, so 1895 is the Nagant revolver.
Yeah.
It is a smokeless powder. It is not black powder.
But proceed with caution. We've stolen enough people that Command now expresses the thinnest veil of consideration for his people. Don't mind me.
And it's okay. Don't worry about cartridges and stuff and years and getting all that gun stuff right. I mean, the first thing I do when I gunsmith something is I go get the manual.
Yeah.
Any gunsmith worth their salt will do that. If someone asks a cartridge question, you go get your copy of Cartridges of the World. You don't just go off the top of your head. So memorizing all this stuff will not help you. Always check the manual. Always. Especially involving things that explode.
Yep. Being competent at something has a lot less to do with memorizing details than it does memorizing processes and techniques and applying those with proper research. In my experience. Sit rep. Sit this rep, motherfucker. Yeah, you go on alert. Won't help you. Alright, so we're nominally here for like 1 person.
Well, you're going to grab everyone until you find the right person. You're just going to go through them later and be like, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy.
Is this your card? Is this your card? Yeah. World's least impressive magic trick. I bet I can get you to stand here while I go through 50 cards. You know, I should be able to, like, put one person on my shoulder and then drag the other by the collar behind me. God, do all you motherfuckers have long-range comms with CP? Doctrinally, that's not the thing.
Sit rep. Our forces are dwindling and the sky is full of screaming people.
All normal. Continuing patrol. Okay, so he saw me through the same fucking shed that got me last time. Alright, everybody's going on the train. Have fun in the sky. One of these people is a legendary gunsmith, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm fairly certain it's not the guy shot in the face with the M29.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Yeah, see? We're fine. We've completed the mission. Oh. What are you?
You know what you need is you need a harpoon that has an automatic Fulton in it.
I just stuff the bird in a pocket. I don't put it on the Fulton. Yes, that is something that this game would benefit from.
So you just shoot them in the ass, and they're like, "Oh my god, I have been shot in the ass with this steel arrow."
They
And
just
then a
scream.
balloon comes
they
out.
scream
Yeah,
and they fall, and then the balloon comes out after they touch the ground,
yeah.
and,
And then they
scream
just
the
float away.
entire time.
That would be great.
And to get the screaming sounds, we're gonna hit the voice actor's knuckles with a baseball bat, so that we get the really long, throaty scream, not the Hollywood.
If I had to have screams in a game, I would have a mode for people with PTSD who are scared of screams.
Where it's like,
And no. I wouldn't remove the screams. I would just progressively auto-tune them. So they sync with the soundtrack. So
yeah,
you shoot
okay.
someone and they sound like they're singing Snake Eater.
So you're doing the harmonica in the mouth and then hit your shin thing.
Please support
If
helicopter.
you've seen that video. Oh lordy. Black powder charge is optional. Well, naturally, we only do the black powder charge for apex predators.
Yeah, that's why you gotta get the bomb lance. When you need to kill a whale.
Omelets.
That's why we put it in the mod.
I know.
I said, Hat, can we have a bomb lance? And he's like, what does this do? And I gave him the brief history of whaling. And he was like, this is metal as shit. And I'm like, yeah,
Bitchin' hyenas. Hey, brother.
those things, aren't those things really dangerous?
Probably.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
But we're putting them in the same cage as the zebras.
Oh, wow.
This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Yeah, look into that. Only as deep as you wish, Mr. D-Dog. We're better than them. How the fuck do I get up there?
Greg says zebras would beat the shit out of a hyena.
Oh, 100%. Zebras are mean as shit. Oh, I hear the music.
Construction arrived.
The music of my people. Have I cleared this one? Oh, come on, you're not stuck. There we go.
I knew a guy who had a mule. And it was like the chillest animal. And I never understood why people thought they were like stubborn and mean. It was really cool. Like it just hung around, you know?
Okay.
Didn't bother nobody. And it would piss on command.
Oh.
Like he would say, I forget the word, but he'd say something and just start pissing like as hard as it could. And I was like, I'm glad you have all this time alone and
The
have
truck
used it
lives here.
responsibly. It also drank beer.
Hey. I had a dog that drank alcohol. Poor Cheyenne. So she'd been run over before I owned her. And she had some neurological damage because she had head trauma.
Yeah.
And she found out. I think she initially, on the previous owner, drank like Cayman Jack, they said. Like something really just
Wow.
really off the wall, but it was sweet enough that she tried it and then liked the effect. So after that, she would try to get any alcohol she could. Beer, tequila, vodka, whiskey, didn't matter. So I was warned of that when I adopted her.
Did I ever tell you about the guy I knew who had all of the Yukon Jack?
No.
All right. Let me tell you a brief story. So,
Okay.
Yukon Jack, for those of you who don't know, is Canadian whiskey, and I'm using air quotes because I don't want to be technical and argue what is and is not a whiskey. But so Yukon Jack tastes medicinal. It does not taste like whiskey. It's got honey in it. It's got whiskey in it. It, it's Yukon Jack,
Yeah.
and so he loved it. And I'm just gonna tell you this much: it's not for me. If you like Yukon Jack, that's fine. But it comes in a plastic bottle, and it tastes medicinal. Not for me. Not something I'd endorse drinking. That being said, every time I went over, whatever this guy drank, at the end of his drinking time, he would have a Yukon Jack. That was his nightcap. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've had my beers for the day. We've done what we do. Let's have a Yukon Jack. And I would always do a shot with him. And I would always go, Jesus Christ, that tastes medicinal. I couldn't lie to the man.
Okay.
So, get this. Yukon Jack, at the bottom of the bottle, well, first of all, it's all 100 proof. Second of all, at the bottom of the bottle, there is a quote. And it's not like handmade with love. That is not the quote on Yukon Jack. The quote says, only the strong survive.
Oh, good lord.
Now, he tells me that he has in his possession the discontinued variants of Yukon Jack.
Of course.
And I said, you love the plastic bottle of whiskey so much, that's not really whiskey, so much that you have the discontinued bootlegs of it. He's like, yes. So I said, I have to see this. You know, naturally, I'm a pretty curious guy. I
Yeah.
like to, you know. So I go see it. There is a Yukon Jack berry. Now I'm colorblind. I can't describe the color other than looking milky. He had Jack apple, which I believe they brought back, and then there's Wicked Hot, which is, you know, there's that Fireball whiskey. It's like
Yeah.
that, but worse. And so he says, do you want any of these? And I said, sir, this looks like medicine. It looks like if you poured those out into tubes and beakers, it would be like a 1950s science show. You know, you'd be like, oh, yes, these are my potions. And yeah, he loved the shit out of them. He had all the Yukon Jack. He even had a Yukon Jack belt buckle.
Of course he did.
And he said it's an official one. I don't know what that means. And I'm not trying to shit on Canadian whiskey. Canadian whiskeys are fine.
What is M79?
A Fulton M79? Can we grenade people into the air?
I think we may be able to.
We have reached an enlightened age. Yeah, Yukon Jack, if anyone ever, like, okay, I'm presuming most of you are adults, and most of you probably have gone to a liquor store at one point in your life. Next time you go to a liquor store, I want you to go find the cheaper liqueur or cheaper whiskey section and look for a Yukon Jack. You will see it, and you will understand why it it inspires nervousness, but do not buy it.
Yes. Well, a lot of things are coming in plastic.
I'm going to say this. If ever I had more brains than sense, or somebody out there had a lot of
Double
investment
barrel
money in that,
RGM 40.
sure, sure, why not? But if someone had more brains than sense and wanted to make a donation toward Bad Idea Fund, I would start my own whiskey distillery. And I have an idea for a handful of products, okay? All right, first of all, I'm not going to pour off the heads or the tails. I will make White Dog and I will bottle it. That's legal White Lightning, aka moonshine.
Yeah.
You make that, and I would just put, when it said aged, I would just put the day of the week. I'd be like, aged Thursday. Proof, yes. Tape a match to it. I'd also make Randolph P. Checker's apple flavored engine degreaser.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll pick up the Schofield. Unable to develop anything else simultaneously. That sounds like completion.
Expansion complete.
Your heroism went up for stealing people.
Yeah, for stealing
hello,
people
Will.
and then letting them into my base. Oh man, we're at max capacity. 19 in the brig. Hold on, let's manage some fucking staff. How many people do? Yeah, we're on. Oh yeah, spreadsheets. All. $470. I've stolen 470 individuals.
All right. Do you want to hear something really? Do you want to hear something really fun?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right. There's a really not great whiskey called Canada Club. Canada Club is used for mixer. You know, it's used as a mixer. It's a well. It is not used for flavor. But Canada Club didn't know how to sell Canada Club, so they decided that naturally this was the intrepid whiskey of world adventurers.
Oh, yeah.
So they did a sweepstakes, right? And so in between 1967 and 1991, Canada Club hid 25 cases of whiskey in remote locations around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they challenged people to find them. Now, I'm going to say this. Not one of them has been found since 1980. Because a few years into it, they're like, no, I'm not going to say that I went all the way to Mount Kilimanjaro to find some Canada Club. So they started putting, I believe, bounties on it. Like, if you can find it, you win $100,000 prize. But it's, yeah. Canada Club is not great.
Yeah.
A lot of people went out to go find it just to find it, but I don't think people were looking. I think the ones that were found was like some guy was mowing the lawn and hit a box and was like, oh, this. I should call this number to see if they'll pick it up. Alberta has some really good whiskeys. The ones that I mean, Royal Crown's a great whiskey. A lot of people hate it because they're like, oh, and I'm like, that's how I got my first D&D bag, Crown Royal.
Yeah.
But if you, I mean, that they make good dice bags.
The
Now I'm
only
going to say
thing
this.
about Crown Royal is you're not going to find Crown Royal in that bag.
No. And what's great is you can make, if you really, really, really want to go down the ladder of poor ideas, you can make an RCCR, Royal Crown and Crown Royal. Fitty fitty.
Ah, man.
Village has been supplied with walker gears. Your job is to eliminate them all.
So you have the laser on that 1911, right?
Yeah.
That I've noticed is somehow dovetail cut onto some sort of mount that has been welded. Okay, pull what? No. So we're going full 1980s with the laser, the biggest laser you can get.
It fits in that holster.
That thing needs to have a battery that's hooked up to like a tractor battery on your back.
Man, that's a hell of a laser.
Yeah, that's a good laser. Now back in the 80s,
Hold
they
on.
did this a lot where they thought that lasers were going to be the future. And so you'd see revolvers with lasers on them that were bigger than the revolver. And they would be like, this is how they'll shoot in the future. They'll add 4 pounds of light to a gun. No, this is not a red dot thing. This is literally a just laser emitter from the 80s. So is this the tank Gewehr?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't lost my mind.
No, I have a tank Gewehr.
Caution, rain approaching.
You know, sometimes you need a big gun for big problems. Just wait until I start custom.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
So they said this is rain, right?
Rain is coming.
Ah.
But my intel team's really good. They give me like 15-ish seconds notice before the rain comes.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know, plenty of time to prepare, right? I'm going the right place, yeah.
Yes, Marco. Arnold did wear a massive battery pack during the Terminator for that laser,
It
and
also
if you
burned him, didn't it?
it did. If you pause the movie and he turns the laser on, you can see the cord for the battery that runs up his sleeve. And yes, it burned him. I think that laser lasted like minutes.
Yep, and that company became...
Analysis complete.
Anybody want to guess? Well, you know it, but... Aimpoint.
Enemy presence detected.
You got to start somewhere. And if you can get any of your gun product in a movie, I mean, Taron Butler learned you can make $1 million really quick by putting a gun in John Wick, while also training John Wick and everyone in it. But still, that's yeah.
You know, the Turin tactical thing, it works for the movie. It's flashy.
It's
it
flashy
looks
and it's
really good.
it's
It's
updated.
it's efficient.
yeah.
Now, if you want to know why Keltec is crazy, I'll tell you. The reason all the Keltec's guns look goofy is one of their chief designers used to work for Husqvarna, the people who make chainsaws and weed eaters. You know?
Come on, grab. Alright, you know what? That's good enough. That was not a grab, though.
I don't know. He knocked
they
his
heard
helmet off.
something.
That's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, Husqvarna also did make guns. I actually have one of their contract Mausers from 1941, and it's an excellent example of what a Mauser action can be.
Yeah, their
lot of people j-
weapons were very, very well made.
Well, a lot of people go out and say, "Ooh, Carabiner 98K, that's the Mauser to buy." And I'm like, "No, that's a wartime production gun. They're fairly austere. If you want a really fancy Mauser, go Swedish.
If you can get the ammo for it.
You can get the ammo for it." They're standing in a line. Deploy the tank Gewehr.
Can't see his head. See his head. God damn it. Yep, there he went. I should totally check. Come on, move your arm, move your arm, move your arm. Bing! I extracted the interpreter. Guess they haven't joined me yet. Right in the ear.
That's a bad time.
It's a bad time. Rubber bullet in the ear? Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it. I don't know who you are.
You gotta extract him.
Well, clearly you're Polish resistance in Warsaw. Stripes. You come with me. The table. Give me that. Give me that. Yeah, you need to come.
Subject is in.
Dude, look at all that stuff just flying into the air. It's crazy.
All we have to do is blast these guys and send them to the moon so they can meet their friends.
I'm sending them all the way to the moon. Almost everyone.
$80 millimeter.
80 millimeter. It's God's it's God's caliber.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I'd say it's Tankgewehr time.
Think so? I was gonna wait until it actually went loud.
And he's destroyed.
Mhm.
And the entire village mysteriously vanished.
Just shut the fuck up. Hostile. I have to have an interpreter. Huh? I'm interpreting Afrikaans over the radio.
I would presume you do, instead of it being like wingdings.
At the same time, though, Afrikaans kind of sounds like, you know, just somebody mumbling through.
It's Dutch.
Yeah,
Ish.
it's
Ish.
90% Dutch,
By volume.
20% gibberish.
By
Stop
volume.
fucking with the fucking... Oh, god damn it. Well,
Tankgewehr.
oh yeah, it's that time.
Outpost captured.
Heroism increased 4,000%.
The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
Handled. No. Goodbye, man. See ya.
You have a fun ride.
Subject on board.
There.
Helium equals victory.
I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be. I think I just stumbled into the wrong base. And, pity them. Because I haven't seen any walker gear. And that's my objective here. No, I don't want to be on the wall. Thank you. These guys speak Afrikaans like exclusively?
Surely there's got to be some guy there who's like, "Hey, I'm Jimmy."
Like, a bunch of them are wearing Marine Corps hats because they wanted to reuse the asset. Would have expected more. Oh, there's the Walker gear.
All right, just steal them.
You gotta extract him.
There's
No,
some copyright music in the background. Thank you.
don't worry about it.
A blood diamond on the ground.
As opposed to name brand diamonds from Trustworthy Guy. Trustworthy Guy Incorporated.
Yeah.
There you go.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
No, I want to pick up the container.
Biological material is very vague.
What biological material you think it is?
I don't want to talk about it.
Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss.
Somebody has woken. Many somebodies have woken.
Signs of an intruder.
I don't believe you.
I think I kidnapped in my playthrough this game about 8 people.
Yeah?
Everyone else got blam blam.
For supplies
I
requested.
mean, that's not a bad way to do it, I suppose. Your little "I'm a bad guy" horn goes crazy if you do that.
Supply drop complete.
You're such a bad guy. Shouldn't kill people. Nah, I don't know. This game does okay at ethically sourced blood diamonds, yes. Only it sales. Or, I mean, other company that was on the radio for so long, so many times that I will never ever lose. Is he just running?
Yeah, he's hoofing it. He's
Dude, fuck
he
yeah. You have
he put on
a
a-
good rest of your day, man.
put on his Lamborghinis and he's peeling out. He's had enough.
You know, that's the most. He's not going with me. He's the smartest guy I've ever met. I gotta. It's like clipping the tail of a lobster and throwing it back. I gotta let him procreate. No, God. The resources have been stolen. It always amazes me that there's, zero evidence that advertising actually works. And yet
You know,
there are cultural touchstones that we have heard so many hundreds of thousands of times on TV and the internet that we will never forget them.
that's the weird thing is everyone seems to think spending a lot of money on advertising is absolutely necessary, and it may not be. It's one of those things where sometimes I'll tell everybody hey, tell your friends Tech Talks Battletech's coming out, and I'll be like word of mouth. Generally is word of mouth. That worked pretty good. The word of mouth, everybody tells somebody who might like this. They just tell them we're doing it if they want to show up.
Yeah.
That worked. That actually worked. Now, when I did the Christmas Bullet, I ran an experiment. And YouTube has, at the time when we released it, this brand new service where they said if you pay money, we will advertise your video all across YouTube using our proprietary algorithm. It'll reach its intended audience, blah, blah, blah. I put a chunk of money into this. It accomplished 0.
Yeah, I think that's
telling people, word of mouth, is the best way to get shit done, because if you don't disappoint their asses, if you do exactly what you say you're going to do, I'm going to make a movie, I'm going to release a movie, and tell your friends if you think they might like this movie. You can run things like that, no problem.
Destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets. That's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
I think I've stolen everything of value.
Jiggles, why would I want to do react videos or mainstream video games? I did a video on why I am not a game reviewer, and why instead I was more interested in a mod my friend made for an old game I like.
He came back. The dumb
very
son of
next
a
day.
bitch came back. Well, I'm sorry, that makes you dumb enough to go to our fucking base in the Seychelles.
I'm working on another video, something like it. It's not a review, it's just a statement on something I think people would enjoy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not about Starfield. Everything I see online nowadays is about Starfield. It's like, Starfield? Here's everything you need to know about Starfield. Here's everything in Starfield. Here's it. And I'm like, I own it. I've played it. It's
Let's put that stuff.
it's Bethesda. I mean, it's a game. It's all right. If you like space stuff, you'll like it. Yeah, that's about it.
Where did I leave my truck? I didn't bring a truck into this, did I?
Fezbear said it best. That is a video. Text React video.
Being added. Please select support helicopter requested.
I will say this, I didn't see many bugs, but I also just kind of roamed around and did stuff. I can tell you some things about Starfield. Okay, just show of hands. How many people in chat are loot goblins who take everything? And I mean everything. Like, everything.
Yeah, hands up. Hold them high. We gotta take account in the class.
All
Keep 'em
right,
up.
so yeah, so here's how it works. You don't need to do that in Starfield because you can't break stuff down for resources. So I spent the first 30 hours making a pile of crap, and then the game was just like, you're a dirty hoarder. And I felt very bad because I was at the starport taking oceans of stuff out of my ship and just dumping it off on the ground, and people were staring at me like they knew I was a dirty person. They were like, this guy steals forks. Yeah, I was stealing everything. I was like, oh, this lunch tray. I could probably use this for something.
I just took stuff I wanted on my desk. You know, like I stole every Newton's cradle in the game that I've encountered so far.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
17 people, 2 prisoners, a truck, a couple walker gear, 5 M2 Brownings, 3 mortars, a VAD system. God, the VADS is weird. The VADS is when we gave up. Because we're like, Sergeant York will replace it, and then Sergeant York didn't. We're like, we don't really need it, I guess.
Sergeant York, it's a gun.
It's a gun. It's a gun. It's a gun on an M60 chassis with the F-15 radar. It turns out radars that are meant to be at 35,000 feet don't do really well at sea level. Ugh. I scotch taped the forward lever on PS4 to get my character to town while overloaded and go off to make lunch. Fuck yes, man.
I remember doing that
done
in
that.
Skyrim. I've done that in Skyrim. I was like, I will let nothing go.
Or Diablo 2 Portal Fun. okay, you open the portal, but don't go through it. I'll open a portal for you. And then we
Yep.
can just ferry all of the bullshit off the ground.
My favorite was when I figured out console commands in Skyrim. I made my stamina like 8 billion so I could run from the starter area like a greyhound all the way to like the first town. And it was just like 4 seconds. It was hilarious cuz you could run all the way across the map before textures loaded.
Ugh. See, I'm getting people now. I'm getting some S pluses and some S plus pluses.
Little do you know S means suck.
It does. I'm gonna have to kill like a third of these people because they know Kakongo. Oops.
What if you make them fight, you know, like in an arena? You make them fight in an arena, and the ones who survive become, you know, the victors, as it were.
Never forget when the Fallout community realized how they could take everything with them from the Sierra Madre. Yeah.
The Sierra Madre was great because they said the lesson of the Sierra Madre is you can't take it with you, and I was like, bitch, watch me try.
Regularly crosses the savannah. On paper, it's just mined resources going to the government, but the security's much too heavy. At the very least, it's worth checking out. Take a look at the mission.
Oh, it's Corgonia, the Sierra Madre Vault. Yeah.
Cargonia.
Father Elijah, did you mean a duffel bag for all my fucking gold? Yeah. How much of a smell brass has? Well, do you mean the actual, like, brass, or do you mean, like, spended ammunition? Because that's probably the smell of cordite. And various powders. Trader's caravan. So I extract some trucks.
Mission accepted.
Okay. Some trucks. No, I was just there. I wouldn't have imagined that they've reestablished their anti-air defenses yet, but might again. Alright, this will probably be our last mission. No, we need to back out because we need to figure out if we can customize yet. Because we got the
Oh, yes,
legendary
of
gunsmith again, and I need to put something ridiculous on that tank conveyor.
Why? You know what? I'm not even gonna go ahead.
No, still not available.
Okay, what about the Fulton grenade launcher?
I think it's still available.
We're Blaster Brown. I forgot we named ourselves that.
Yes, yes.
Ass Blast, USA.
So that'll be done in 9 minutes. Oh, M3 Fulton. Fuck yes. I want to hit people
Oh, yeah.
with a Carl Gustav round that shoots them into the sky. That sounds amazing. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, here we go again
Please select a mission.
on our own.
Mission accepted.
I want to truck this. I want to truck.
Deploying.
We are Blaster Brown.
In the back.
Yes, I hear Mike. He's playing Tex Murphy.
Excellent. Knife with a bipod scope and laser. It's not quite that bad,
What?
but it's pretty bad.
Remember to
just
put
wanna-
a silencer on your grenade.
Yeah, I just want to figure out, because we've got this weapon mod. It's the only mod we're running because we wanted realistic weapons. Um, so I just want to see what customization does with that. Or maybe we're not allowed to customize because we've got that? We'll have to choose a new song next time. What is it? 6. Alright. Let's go steal a truck. We're on a mission from Jod. Okay. Mr. Tex.
Yeah.
If you could force the mispronunciation of one word in one film for the entire duration of that film, what word and what?
Oh God. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Analysis complete.
So I've already said mine. Mission from Jod.
Analysis.
All right. Let me think. Let me think. Just. Okay. Ruin a movie. Mispronounce. Force a mispronunciation. All right.
Yeah. Change the script. They gotta pronounce
change-
it that way.
Okay. All right. Star Wars, right?
Uh huh.
And
Complete.
make them instead of a lightsaber, they have to say leet saber. Like, hey man, it's a leet saber. You know, just has a twang on it for no reason. They're like,
Okay.
oh yeah, it's an ancient weapon. Leet saber.
The lead.
That or I don't know. That's too easy.
Well, I put
I
you on
would
the spot.
I
What
would
did you think about it?
I would adjust the timing. So when instead of saying my name is Han Solo, I would make it sound I would
Han
adjust the
Solo?
audio timing it so it's Hans Olo.
Excellent.
Why is the charging handle on the right hand side on this?
Good
He does an
question.
overhand. Left hand for foul. Oh yes.
Outpost captured.
God,
Handle.
I don't use that nearly enough.
Use the fork, Luke.
Well, I'm done pissed these guys off.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Come on, get up. Get up.
My Namen is Hans Olo.
Alright, talk to me. Talk to me.
Map has been updated.
Will you give me anything else? No. What's he got? Weird white reinforcements on the bottom of his pockets.
Hawkins. I don't
'Cause
know.
that's like the SADF bush jacket, but those were in like green brown, not white. And it was also like a heavier bush jacket. It wasn't a shirt. God, I hate that laser. Like this is the prime example to pull out some James Bond like tiny microfiche camera.
It'd be neat if he had a nice little focal plane camera, you know, that was flat folded and went in his front pocket. And he pulls it out of his pocket and it snaps out and it's like click, click and gets two really good shots and then folds it away. That
Yeah.
would be neat. Or what if you did it realistically and he had like a neoprene pouch, a zipper pouch for documents?
Yeah, you
And he just jams
steal
them in
the
there.
document. Like, sure, they know that you've got it, but you still compromise whatever current operation is going. That is a mission success in every sense of the word. Okay. Now,
I think it'd be funny if, like, if you just had a giant Glad garbage bag and you just furled it out and just tossed like, swept the whole thing into it and tied it off. Like, just one sweep. Everything on the desk, thermos, radio, everything in the desk, in the garbage bag, tie it off, and then take out a piece of tape and roll it around the top of it and write stuff on that tape.
yes. And it's super crinkly.
Yeah.
Like you were hearing Ziploc noises for the entire time you were manipulating it.
Yeah. When is I want to see Fulton Grenade. I really do.
We got a couple more minutes. I'll order it once it's done.
Fulton Grenade.
Analysis complete.
And it's crazy that they heard that guy yell that he was taking fire from all the way over there.
Development complete.
Be in the guard tower. It's just these guys. Okay. Oh, come on, I hit you in the face. Their face shot does it or it doesn't.
You know, I think if someone shot me in the face with a 30 caliber, even if it was a
Rubber
rubber
bullet.
bullet, I'd just lay down anyways. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I don't want him to keep shooting thinking that I'm a tough guy. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to take the coma I got and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sure, there's no 30 cal munitions because it would be dangerous. But if somebody hit me with it, I'd be like, yeah, no, you got me. Well, I have to wonder, is this... So they never explain the stun ammo other than, you know, it's got the orange barrel. Or the blue barrel. I think it's different depending on what it is.
Frank, you are right. This is Metal Gear Fulton everything.
Yes. Grand larceny of personnel.
I think also you should have a bag to put people in.
Oh yeah, just put them in like a poacher's bag, just on my belt.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just run around with them. And every so often the bag starts rustling and you take out a hammer and start hitting it. You're like, you're gonna talk. I got you in the bag.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Snake, you have the specialist. He's in the bag.
Yeah, the intel bag and the grab bag for bad guys, everything goes in the
just-
same bag.
You've got like a sort of cowed guy in there who is like, yeah, no, if you stop hitting me with the hammer, I'll help you. You just
I'll
hand
help
him
you-
the
I'll-
documents, and you're like, I don't read Afrikaans. What's this say?
He's like, I'll collate and file these for you.
Yeah, see, no, that's what we should do. It's like a mobile command post on the back of a Deuce and a Half, and you just drive it around instead of the fucking helicopter. I want hot, sexy military action, like setting up camo nets in the mud, so that your truck looks slightly less like a truck. So we follow this. Predicted route. You know, maybe if I had followed those guys instead of stealing and murdering them, I wouldn't have to guess. But not the way that Snake does things. Oh, we got to Schofield.
Ah, excellent.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I lost access to my international bank accounts because it signed me forcibly out.
Don't worry, it's almost 2:04.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It is 3 minutes from.
204.
How can I get in the car with that long boy on my back? You know, it's an
That sounds
excellent
like a-
question.
Sounds like a
Oh,
country
fuck,
song.
fuck. Oh, yeah,
That
thank
sounds-
you, Betty. You weren't very timely in that.
It does sound like a country song, doesn't it?
It does.
How can you get in that car with the long boy on your back?
Yeah, it's not a Johnny Cash song, but I could see, like,
No.
Hank doing it.
Yeah, no,
twangy,
Johnny Cash
twangy
songs.
like OG Hank.
Yeah.
Did I just lose a wheel? Nope, I'm fine.
Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it.
Like maybe Waylon Jennings, but his was always a little
More
bit
Jerry
honky
Reed?
tonk. Jerry
Okay.
Reed would rock that. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah, you have 3 other wheels. You don't need all 4.
San Andreas made sure that Amos Moses will be with me until the day I die.
So where are we going here in Murder Jeep?
We're driving the expected route of the convoy until we find the convoy, and then we're going to steal said convoy. It's
Can
called
I at least sit? The guy in the bag says, "Can I at least sit in the passenger seat?" And you shut the hell up. Luggage don't speak.
Yeah, no, that's the way, you know, if I had to do this, I would have a deuce and a half with like a fucking box camper on the back. That's a convoy.
You were almost an accident.
It was almost an accident.
All right, we're going to use this tank Gewehr.
Damn it.
Looks like
Okay.
they're leaving.
Yeah, they're leaving. They're going the other direction.
Damn, stopped by a choice.
Don't worry, I'll mirror them on another road.
Or just drive up behind them.
Well, the road ended. With their, I don't even, that's a, I don't even know what that is, really. Kind of half striker MGS, half, I don't know. What's the Canadian, amphib?
Oh, the Grizzly?
Yeah, the Grizzly. Like, maybe? I don't know. We'll look at them after their Oz.
204. Wait for it. It hasn't.
It
What?
hasn't? Oh, man.
It-
Can you sleep mine trucks? You cannot sleep mine the truck. Am I still along the projected path? I am. Alright. Yep. There we go.
All right.
Roadblock.
Roadhouse.
You don't see me. Don't see me. You don't see me.
Uh-oh.
You can't do anything about me now that you see me. Because I have stolen you. Of
What?
course. Yeah. It was a trap. That's why it's called Trader's Convoy.
Wow, the druid cast bark skin.
I do appreciate.
If these bastards are pulling guard duty, that proves the cargo is headed to Cypher.
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
You know, I've never actually let one of those get close to me.
I mean, they're very stylish as bad guys, but they don't seem very effective.
No. I like how it's just stuck. It's halfway between. If I get in the armored vehicle, then they just like rust it. So, oh, there we go. That's why I brought the tank Gewehr.
Seems to work.
Yeah, it works okay.
This is like 4570 time. You know, they're like, oh, I can hop around. And be like, all right. Deal.
Yeah.
Have you heard of straight-walled cartridges? And they're like, what? And you're like, you're about to.
Oh yeah, I forgot I can't extract it yet. Haven't unlocked it. Don't mind me. Yeah, no, I'm taking off like pieces of skin.
Wow.
Oh, God, you hurt my dog.
What if there was a guy who screamed rocks out of the ground and the rocks exploded? I don't see how that fits into the game. I said Rockman
God
scream out of
damn
the
it.
ground. Rockman. He screamed.
You can't steal
What
the
kind of
ghost
bad guys
people
are
yet.
these?
No, you can't.
What kind of game doesn't let you steal the ghost people?
Oh, you just have to unlock the right kind of Bolton.
Oh.
And then you can start stealing them. Yeah. Steal the transport truck. Throw a wrench in Cypher's plan.
Can the exploding rocks fit in the bag?
Yeah, but no, like that would be how you extract people instead of, you know, calling for a Fulton. If I'd made this game, is you'd stuff them in the fucking Radio Shack of the truck. You'd handcuff them, zip cuff them, and then just put them in the truck. There you go. They're your employees now. And instead of, you know, a fucking island in the Seychelles, whatever that means, fake oil rig island in the Seychelles, rather. Instead of that, I would have just a collection of tents in the woods. But that's very much my style.
I like how they pop tart out of the back and then they
Yeah.
all, you know.
I like how the possessed zombie dude took a fucking tank Gewehr cartridge and didn't disintegrate from point blank. Like, I should have set him on fire from 10 feet away.
So if the guy has these weird soldiers, why hasn't people nuked this whole area yet?
Because they're secretly working for the U.S. government.
So why does the U.S. government need these soldiers? Is this like the
You
secret
mean,
weapon
why
they're gonna
hasn't
use?
Reagan won the Cold War yet?
I was gonna say, like, what are these guys for? Grenada?
Yeah.
Is this like why Operation Just Cause had so few casualties, or? I mean, this is the 80s, right?
Yeah, this is the 80s. Okay, yeah, throw the rock at me. Throw it at me. Throw it at me. Come on. Come on. No, thank
Of course,
you.
it has to make that noise.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The noise is the important part of rock throwing.
I agree.
Come on. Come on.
You defeated the Skulls. I can't believe you took those things out. Now you just have to extract the target.
Can I try? No, they
No.
won't even let me try. Are they? Oh, they fucked off. Good. Okay, that means
Alright.
this is mine.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
And that means this one's mine. So yeah, what? I suppose.
Well, that gun system looks like Sintaro.
Yeah. The front end's not quite right,
No.
but. Anyway, it's a fun little thing. Also, I very much dig the Strata Blue as the color for this particular corporation. The nice flat color.
I don't appreciate it at all.
I just didn't want to. Don't mind me. Alright. Target secure. Get out of the hot zone.
Plant expansion complete.
Cool.
I do like watching the rolling motor vehicle accident in the background as I'm playing on my fucking phone.
You're just like everyone else who texts and drives.
Yeah. Alright. Now we wait this wonderful savannah for a helicopter to arrive. There it is. I do appreciate the directional microphone on my binoculars. That's a nice touch.
I like to hear people breathing.
Is that an APC or an IFV? Well, doctrinally, it could be either or both, Iron Phoenix. And that is what's going to determine that.
Wrong answer. You need to say how much money you have.
Yeah, there we go. I wasn't thinking with my corporation hat.
You need to put on your Mickey goggles. Well, yes, it is. Well, what do you think it is? Well, you're always right, of course.
That was
yes,
the
you
most
need 4
realistic thing I've seen in this game. Texting while driving hadn't been invented in the 80s, so it's not illegal yet.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Wild Serpent has been awarded the Service Cross? What, was he there? Was he the guy that was fucking zombied?
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
It's exceptional. It wasn't great, though. God, I
Yeah.
can never satisfy Mr. Miller. He's always asking for more. I don't know if he's trying to do the coach thing, like, you did good, but you could do better.
You could do 150% if you really wanted.
Yeah?
You're like,
Or-
that doesn't make any sense.
110%
150% of what?
You give
Well,
150%.
I once had a manager who said, you guys got to give 150% today. And I said, okay. Question. And he said, yes. And I said, can you eat 150% of a sandwich?
There were 2 primary types of cargo.
I'm just curious. Like, can you work 150% of the day? He didn't like that.
No, they usually don't.
Was likely the second item, a shielding container.
Well, this is the guy who said athlete with 3 syllables.
Athlete.
Athlete. Yeah.
Oh no. They had nuke stuff.
They have ghost zombie soldiers. Nuke stuff is boring.
Yeah. Like, this, if I had that technology and wanted to be a real evil bastard, I'd be like, every soldier you send against me adds to my ranks. You know, I'd be a real menace. Like, Fort Sill now belongs to me. I don't know
Yeah,
why I
I
went
mean-
like fucking Batman.
Batman villain.
Like animated
Well,
series.
Bat
Batman.
Fiend.
Yeah, exactly.
Very campy.
Yeah, that was like. What was the one that invented time travel? And he's like, "You invented time travel just to fuck with Batman?"
I mean, I would. If I had time travel, I would do something like, okay, here would be my actual use of time travel. that would be safe and reasonable.
2 intel team agents undercover the
I would time travel back to the start of the day so the ribs would get in the smoker on time. I think that's safe, right?
Yeah. It's the zinc cross for adequate service.
Ah.
Yeah, no, that would be the mundane stuff people would actually use it for. Like, I want smoked ribs. I don't want to smoke them for 16 hours. I want them now.
Imagine if you had a time oven, right? Instead of
Yeah.
time travel of the person, you just have a time oven. You're like, God, I wish I could have this delicious steak. And please don't say a microwave's a time oven. It's not.
No.
A microwave is a do you want it to whistle box. Chicken normally doesn't whistle. Put it in a microwave, it will. I had a roommate.
Clock King. Yes, thank you. Clock King.
I had a roommate that made what I called whistling chicken. He would put in a plate of tendies. He would hit 6 minutes because that is the maximum interval.
On,
then when
the
it-
quick button select.
Yeah. And then when it was done, he'd hit 6 minutes again. And they came out whistling. And then he would jam them into his mouth.
See, I'm so lazy that I won't press other buttons. So if 333 sounds right, it's getting 333. If 444 sounds right, it's getting 444.
I miss the old ones that had the knob.
The
where you
dial?
had to
Yes.
Yeah, where you had to feel how much was enough, you know?
Yes. All right. So we will be back in 2 weeks with the Fulton M79
That is horrifying.
and probably the Fulton M3.
We're going to grenade people to the moon.
Blaster Brown.
Blaster Brown!
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that. Next week will be Madness Mondays. We should be back on schedule. We apologize for the minor disruption for a little while there. I was in the middle of a training cycle and it didn't work out. So
I was also making a movie. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where when you're in final crunch for film or you're doing real life stuff, we may not show up. But we appreciate you guys for checking us out when we do.
yeah, I appreciate the messages I got. Yep, everything was fine. Thank you for checking. Should have probably said something. Because I
Look,
don't want
if-
anybody to worry.
Well, yeah, and look, I've told everyone if I die for any or no reason, the announcement shall be Tex died anyways, moving on, just like Top Gear. Just anyways, moving on. The show goes on, the ship posts are eternal, and everyone has to fit in the bag.
Everyone's got to go in that bag.
Yeah,
Sober or
I-
drunk, willingly or unwillingly, get in the bag.
like get in the bag or face the hammer. That's what Blaster Brown is all about.
Death is the ultimate shitpost.
That sounds like something Kojima would write, you know? The character has a 45-minute soliloquy.
Half
Death
had to
is the
go in the
ultimate
piano
shitpost.
box.
Yep,
Half
fit this in the
joke
bag.
in my
Hand
stream.
eggplant. God.
All right.